Hello, in this video we're going to be replacing the hinges in a Yamaha Euphonium case. This particular Euphonium is the Yamaha YEP 321. The same hinges are used in a number of different Yamaha Euphonium cases and also in some Yamaha trombone cases. This is the broken hinge. This case actually has one completely broken hinge and two cracked hinges. You can see that this broken hinge has completely separated here. I was able to purchase Yamaha replacement hinges at an online music store, and I will include the link below the video. You can see the reason these hinges break. If you open this case on a flat surface, it doesn't quite open flat, so it puts a lot of strain on the hinges. If you try to open the case on a chair, it doesn't fit very well because the case is just so big. And you can see these hinges are just plastic, so the strain on this heavy lid when it flops open eventually cracks these hinges over time. So the first thing we're going to do after the instrument is out of the case is to remove the styrofoam insert on the bottom of the case. We're going to start from the bell side, so reach your hand underneath and pull up on this styrofoam insert, and this insert is hot glued to the case, so it's not too difficult to pry out. But the difficult is where the fabric on this insert actually gets hot glued to the fabric around the bell area. I had to cut some of the fabric to get these two to separate, but the fabric cuts won't show because they're under the styrofoam insert. Once you get it pulled loose, start at the hinge side over here, and I've already done this so it's already loose, and then work your way to the front and lift the insert out because this insert fits underneath the front latches, so you want to start from the back edge. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is to pry up this fabric that covers the actual hinges, and I've already done that. You want to take some care. It's just held down with hot glue also, but you don't want to rip this fabric because this actually shows. There are screws here, 6 screws that hold on the covers. There are plastic covers over the hinges, and we're going to take those screws off of the covers. So you can see these hinge covers here now come right off. Alright, so you can see the hinge here a little better without the cover. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rivets we're going to have to drill out to get this hinge out. I'm using a 3/16" drill bit to remove just the rivet head. If the rivet starts spinning, move on to the next rivet and let it cool down and come back to it a bit later. You don't want to heat the rivet up so much that you start to melt the plastic in the case. Alright, I have all the rivet heads drilled out. All the washers are out. I'm switching to a 1/8" bit, and I'll be using that to basically just push the rivet out of the case. Alright, let's take a look at the hinge side, and there we go, half our hinge is out. And now look at the other hinges. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a crack in the hinge right here and right here. So these hinges aren't broken yet, but they are cracking the same place that first hinge did, and then this one also, you can see the crack starting there and here. So this piece will eventually crack all the way through. Got that first hinge off, so now I'm going to drill out these other 2 hinges. Alright, so for these, also these hinges, we're going to start with a 3/16" drill bit. And then go to a 1/8" bit, and on this side, and you don't actually have to take the fabric off to get at these rivets. You can get your drill in there without having to take anything apart. The Yamaha replacement hinge set will contain 3 hinges, 3 hinge covers, 12 long rivets, 6 short rivets, 6 screws, and 18 washers. The short rivets go through the metal band at the edge of the case, and the long rivets go through the plastic parts of the case. You can use this hardware supplied with the hinges, the rivets, the rivet washers. I'm actually going to use some black hardware that I have, some 632 bolts and black hex nuts and washers. Alright, we've got some black 632 hardware. We'll be using 4 1/2" and 2 3/8" bolts for each hinge. I have the bottom part of the first hinge bolted on. I didn't actually have any 3/8" bolts, so I took some 1/2" bolts and ground them down to 3/8". Make sure you don't put the hinge on upside down, like I did the first time. It should flex right here like this. So this is what it looks like with the hinges installed. Again, we've got the 632 black hardware, 1/2" long, bolts in the edges on the outside, and then 3/8" in the middle. And the only thing we're missing now are the hinge covers. So you can just put that in place and then open the lid. And once you get that open, it kind of holds the hinge cover in place. Looks like new on the outside. 3 new hinges and new hinge covers. We are ready to hot glue the case back together, the fabric in. So we're going to put a little, this coming out, yeah, I'm going to put a little hot glue under this, because that got pulled up when we pulled the styrofoam out. I'm going to put a little hot glue under this. We're not going to go overboard in case we ever need to replace these hinges again. And then we're going to put a little hot glue in to hold this styrofoam insert down. And we're going to, you want to put this front edge in first, because that has to go underneath these latches. And then we'll put the back, push the back down like that. And that's what you get. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video.